Hi everyone. Okay, today we are going to take a minute to breathe. I certainly do need to breathe and calm down because the good Lord knows I need it. You know, people want to know another reason why I do not like Charles. Well, because his true and loyal fans are worse than the Sussex Squad. It is strictly against YouTube rules for us as creators to dox anyone. Otherwise, I would have shown you some of the shitty comments, the DMs and the email I received on, say, my last 3 videos. Some of it, talking about comments, are so stupid that I suffer from second-hand embarrassment. To make matters worse, English is not my first language, and my spelling and general word order is still 10 times better than some of the stuff I receive. Good gracious. But, you know, they will use that same warped and written word to try and tell me what a piece of shit I am for not bowing to their Lord and Master Charles. Now, some don't even know what to say. So they try to get personal and get under my skin. Again with things like stop this and stop that, or the most recent one and the most continuous recent one seems to be get to it. Get to what? I don't play an intro anymore. I do not really talk about my grandson anymore. I don't talk about the weather anymore. I don't talk about my health anymore or anything personal anymore. Lately, I opened the video with, hi, welcome, and get straight into the video because these people have discovered my weakness and my soft point and they will keep exploiting it. So I've made it easy now. This channel is strictly royals, politics, celebrities. My other channel is true crime. That is Bookworm on the Case for you. And then my members do get some personal photographs and news about the family and everything else. Then goes to Rumble and Substack. So these bitches can then go choose where they want to go. Or, if they want to, they can pay to watch the stuff they use to harass me with. Okay? At least I'll get something out of it. I mean, really, some people are born evil, and some are born sweetness and light, and others, unfortunately, are born stupid. And unfortunately, as well, there are no pills or any kind of medication for stupidity. Anyway, let's get into our good news part of this video. The Edinburghs, Edward and Sophie, had a splendid week. Sophie looks really good with her new hairstyle. The shorter hair really lifts her face. It also makes her hair look thicker. And then, to top it all off, not only did their daughter, Lady Louise, graduate from St Andrews University with a degree in English literature, but she also received a Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award, which allegedly, apparently, she already achieved, but it was during COVID. So her certificate was mailed to her. So they took this opportunity to actually hand it over to her along with, I think, 500 other young people. I'm not sure. Anyway, so there is that. And then, to top it all off, she received this award from her father, obviously the current Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Edward, at Holyrood House, which is absolutely beautiful. I've been there. An event also attended by her boyfriend, Felix de Silva Clamp. What I also like and appreciate is that Louise used her full surname during her graduation. Her name was read out as Louise Mountbatten-Windsor. Now this is something the Queen and Prince Philip fought for a couple of years, nearly 10 years. In 1952, the Queen decreed that both the family and the royal house would both be Windsor. Okay? And that was at the insistence of Churchill. However, Prince Philip was deeply upset and frustrated that his children could not take his surname. He felt marginalized by the British political establishment and complained to friends, saying, "I am nothing but a bloody amoeba. I'm the only man in the country not allowed to give his name to his own children." Now this friction simmered for almost 10 years, and in all that time Churchill remained opposed to somehow adding Mountbatten or using it in any way for the royals. Churchill was backed in this by Queen Mary, the Queen's grandmother. However, in 1960, after Churchill resigned and Queen Mary had passed away, the Queen issued a declaration confirming that the royal house would remain Windsor, but decreed that their direct descendants who do not hold a HRH styling or a title of prince and princess, or when not using it, would bear the surname of Mountbatten-Windsor. To be clear, for it to be the hyphenated surname of Mountbatten-Windsor. Now, in September, when George goes to Eton, he will likely, however, be known as George Wales, just like William and Harry before him, taking his so-called surname from his father's title as the Prince of Wales. However, is Meghan then strictly speaking correct in calling her children Archie and Lili Sussex? My dears, I hope you are all sitting down. If not, please do. Okay, because I have a bombshell for you. Remember Meghan telling her ex-friend Mindy Carling that she is Sussex now? Hold on to your horses, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to be both angry and very shocked. On their birth certificate, Archie was named Archie Harrison Mountbatten-Windsor, and Lily's supposed proof of life or birth certificate or whatever you want to name that piece of paper, she is named Lilibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor. It is thus 100% correct and true that you cannot simply change a child's surname on official United States legal documents like a passport, a birth certificate, or state ID by simply declaring a preferred name, or by following a foreign royal custom such as, overnight deciding to call your kid, legally at least, George Wales or Archie Sussex. Of course, at home or among his friends or wherever else, you can call him whatever you want. You can call him Cutie, you can call him Poppy or Archie Sussex. But if you suddenly want Sussex, remember I'm talking about the United States. Okay, So if you suddenly want Sussex as a surname on a legal document in the United States, you will have to file a formal legal petition for a name change in a California court. Well, at least that would be true if it is true that Lily was born in the United States. Because if she was not, things for her would look quite a bit different from what it looks like for her brother Archie. You see, Archie was born in the United Kingdom, and therefore his fundamental legal identity is tied to his British documentation. And guess what? Remember I told you that I heard there were issues with travel documents for Archie and Lili. Now, if you listen carefully to my videos, it was indeed slipped into a video not too long ago. Now, I can tell you exactly what it was all about. The struggle is indeed over, folks. The UK Passport Office did recently issue British passports for both children under the name Sussex. Well, by recently, I mean months ago. Now, to explain the consequences and what this means, I have to explain the delay in issuing the passports and why Harry and Meghan were so upset by it. So upset that they had their lawyers interfere. Okay? And indeed, their lawyers did, sending a letter threatening data subject access. Whatever that may mean, I'm not 100% sure, but what I do know is that whatever it really meant, it also meant that it would have meant that any behind-the-scenes discussions would have been revealed. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, in my very humble opinion, it sounds like blackmail, don't you think? Anyway, moving on. The reasons for the delay in issuing the passports were indeed twofold. Number one, because the applications included the HRH, meaning his or her Royal Highness, for both children. And number two, the applications were also made using Sussex as a surname when both children had United States and British documentation and passports under the name Mountbatten-Windsor. Now, standard wait time for a passport in the United Kingdom is about 3 weeks. But when Harry and Meghan did not receive any word, they reapplied. Okay? Then, 5 months later, still nothing. And out went the lawyer's letter. So apparently, what happened was this. Meghan and Harry did not ask Charles to offer and then make Archie and Lili prince and princess. You know, just a basic courtesy, okay? They just said, hey, they are legally entitled to it now that Charles is king, which is not 100% true. But we've dealt with that in a previous video, and we'll do so again if necessary in another video if you want me to. For now, we continue. Anyway, Charles indeed did not kick up a fuss. He let it go and said, okay, let it be. And the website was indeed then changed to no longer read Master Archie and Miss Lilibet, but Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. So sources leaked to the Guardian. Yes, and we all know the sources in this instance is indeed Buckingham Palace in this particular instance. Now the sources claimed that, and I quote, the king hadn't wanted Archie and Lily to carry the titles, most of all the HRH, and the British passports once issued would be the first and legal proof of their names. Guess what, folks? The passports were issued to HRH Prince Archie Harrison, Sussex, and to HRH Princess Lilibet Diana, Sussex. So, my dears, all that remains for me to say is welcome to your new monarchy, where one day you could very well have a King Archie. Not King Archibald or anything semi-glamorous like that. Oh, no, no, no. HRH, His Royal Highness King Archie. As common as his delusional mother. And I'm not calling all Archies common. You may be the greatest person on earth. But in this instance, sitting on a throne, King Archie does not really have the right ring to it, does it? Anyway, at this point, I have no idea why William is even still bothering. He may think he can fix a monarchy which has an American Royal Highness Prince Archie, raised by a classless golf lady coming with party favours, and ex-yacht girl who may or may not have slept with a portion of the elite in their circles. I mean, how can you fix that? William will have one of two choices when his time comes, and that will be to remove all royal, and meaning HRH and prince and princess, titles beyond that of the Queen's own children and after his son Louis, or then walk away, dissolve the monarchy and walk away. Take your wife, your children, and walk away. Continuing this farce, this giving Meghan Markle everything her imagination wants, is like making Heidi Fleiss or Madame Claude Queen of England. Oh, and what joy it is that no one can shout at me in capital letters and tell me that Charles could not do anything to prevent it. Oh, yes, he could. Number one, look what he did to Andrew. And number two, his own government gave him nearly 6 months to do something to prevent this. His own government was reluctant to issue those passports. But what did Charles do? He allowed it to happen, and likely sent a letters patent to his government to inform them that henceforth Archie and Lily will be known as His and Her Royal Highnesses Prince Archie and Princess Lily. Guys, welcome to the Royal House of Clowns. Okay guys, that is it. Time for me to go. I wish you a peaceful, healthy, prosperous week ahead. Stay vigilant. Stay safe. Why? Because I love you. Bye.